Now the way the machine works, this boiler here is connected to that tank where there's a condensing coil with a little boiler feeder tube. So the water is free to go back and forth. So when you fill it with water, it allows only about 1.5 cups of water in the boiler at a time. There's a reason for that. 1.5 cups of water isn't much water. Put 1.5 cups of water in a saucepan. Turn it on the stove. Because it's not much water, it's going to boil over, it's going to froth. So in the boiler, this is important, you're frothing to the surface. Your viruses, your bacteria, your drugs, the markers, whatever disease they're looking for in a blood test, to the surface. Then you hit it with high intensity UV and heat. But you're not doing it once, 3 times a minute, hundreds of times for every gallon you're making. And when you first fill it with cold water especially, if you look down, you can see the water, the boiling water come out of the boiler, through the boiler feeder tube, into the tank, because it leaves a trace. Then the pressure drops to 0, then it refills again. The process repeats. Now as the steam rises, it goes through the condensing coil after being through this process. And then the cold water coming in from the faucet, because it's colder, it's heavier, it's denser. That goes to the bottom of the tank. That goes back and forth through the boiler. Then when it gets hot enough, rises to the top and goes through the overflow. Now normally when you're running the machine, when it's full of water, you have this valve over here on the slowest steady run you can make. A little more than a drip, but the slowest steady run you can make. Then if you want to, it's up to you. Turn up the flow, 10 gallons an hour, 240 gallons a day. And that's the water you can read about because you can make it so much faster. That's the water they use on wells.